So here's the story. I was watching Atrioc. He's a streamer I really like. He was playing Press the Button. It's just a web page browser game, and I thought, oh, check it out. I'll have a look at it myself. And I went onto the website, and this is the first question I got. And wow, this is a heavy question. So I thought I'd just record and just see what happens here. Because yeah, like look at this question. You can choose any one person, including loved ones, to go painlessly and peacefully when they die, but you will die very painfully when it's your time to go. I think about death a lot, especially my death. I think about, is it going to happen like in the 2020s? Am I going to live a full life? Even if I live to be in my 80s, that means I'm like more than a quarter of the way through my entire existence on this planet. I'm just thinking, what if I die in some way where it's like, some really unlikely thing where like a big sheet of solid metal falls on me, or like I don't know, I just get hit by a car in a fluke accident or something, and then it's just all over, and it's like that's your whole story, and that's your entire existence on this earth gone, done, finished. Yeah, knowing that it will be very painful when it's your time to go, your last moments in existence. You can choose any person, including loved ones, to go painlessly and peacefully. I don't know who I'd choose. It's interesting, the idea of painless and peaceful. So I guess dying in your sleep or something. I wouldn't do it. No, I'd be selfish. I wouldn't do it. No, I wouldn't. 50-50. Damn. I mean, what's the actual split here? 4-5, 4-4-8, 4-5. So more people said yes, they would do it. More people were martyrs here. Yeah, whatever. Sure. You say that because it's not never going to happen, but you can learn any language you want instantly. You can no longer understand the current language you speak. Yeah, not going to work for me at all. No, because I need English because I live in I live in an English speaking country and I don't plan to leave. I plan to have a career here, and live my entire life here. So no. You can read anybody's mind. You have to say everything you think out loud. Fuck no. Hell no. That's it. Like you are unemployable. I would be unemployable and my life and reputation would be ruined instantly. Every single thing you think. Cuz I think some rude things every day. You couldn't work. That's it. You're unemployable. You can't work with co-workers and customers if you say everything you think out loud. And I think 74% of people, 42,000 people agree. You release the greatest book in the history. This person's not releasing the greatest book in history anytime soon. Nobody knows that you are the author. Interesting. It's just that, you would just have that sort of internal satisfaction, of knowing that you did this. You released the greatest book in history. So you release it under a different name. And yeah, you just go your whole life. Everyone's always talking about this book and reviewing it, and the greatest book in history. What does that even look like? Like what even could that be? Is it fiction, non-fiction? The greatest book in history. I'm trying to think what's like some iconic books. We got like Animal Farm, The Art of War, Harry Potter 1, Lord of the Rings, that Star Wars prequels encyclopedia. It's like one of these. There's a few of these kind of books. One of these books, you release one of these and you're the author. I mean, that's pretty sweet. I had a dinosaur encyclopedia for kids when I was a kid. Oh, man, if I can find it. I don't even remember what the art looked like, what the front cover looked like, but it was such a banger book. Oh, that's a page from it. Look at that. Dinosaur by Dorling Kindersley. Is it that? That cover art, the Dinosaurs book by DK. Dinosaur by DK, that's not it. Maybe if I go on this website. I don't think that's it. This looks familiar. There's so many cool pictures on it like this. Like I looked at these pictures for ages when I was a kid. Anyway, back to the game. Um, yeah, I mean, what's the downside? There's no real downside. You just do an awesome thing, and you just get that satisfaction. There's no real downside. You never have to worry about paying for utilities, internet, cell phone service. The services work sporadically. Yeah, that's rough. Electric. So your lights just flicker pretty often. You're cooking. Yeah, hell no. You're cooking and your electricity cuts off midway through cooking. Hell no. You live in a world where you rule. You fall down every flight of stairs you walk on, so you don't take the stairs. I mean, do you want to rule? Now, if you rule, do you get assassinated? Are you too powerful? Right? You'd live an unrecognizable life. I couldn't do the things I do now. I couldn't really have a life as we know it because you rule the world, not just a country. You fall down every flight of stairs. So the flight of stairs I'm not worried about at all because you just don't take the stairs. And being the ruler of the world, the buildings you go in would have to just be custom built. But it's having, I mean, you are responsible for every person in the world, every society, hunger, resources, famine, war, civil war, disasters, civil unrest. You're responsible for all of it. So I will not, because of that. Irrelevant. Stairs are irrelevant. You can breathe in space. You will constantly hear whispering voices when out there. So this doesn't help me get to space at all. I would still have to, which like I'm never getting to space. Like I tell NASA, hey, I can breathe in space. They're not going to send me to space. I can't prove it. I don't get up there anyway. I will constantly hear whispering voices when out there. I'm never going to be out there. So, sure, I'll press it. Has no effect on my life, but you can fly. You will be the ugliest person in the world. The ugliest person in the world. You can fly. How do the two affect each other? And I'm getting, this flying comes with zero risks. You have full control. You don't have to worry about taking off horizontally or the dangers of flying. I guess you just have full control. You can just hover in the air, set any speed. You're the ugliest person in the world. I think I'm too vain. I don't think I would want to do it. I mean, what could you do with flying? There's a lot you could do. I'm sure you could make a lot of money. You could just be rich. Again, you'd probably get killed. You'd probably be killed somehow by like a person. No, I wouldn't. Well, I feel like my answers are so boring. Well, a lot of people wouldn't. Your internet is so fast that anything you download is instantly on your computer. You can't sleep for 24 hours after you download something. My download is currently really quick. I recently switched internet providers. This is not an ad. I'm with Origin. And my god, I download games quick. Ready or not, download it in like 10 minutes. Swear to god. So, and I can't sleep for 24 hours. Yeah, I won't, because I've already got. So, and I don't. Downloading games being slow, even when I had slow download speed, it didn't impact my life. It was fine. I'd maybe start a download, go to the shops or something while it's downloading, go do something else while it's downloading. You get an orgasm at will. Each time you use it, you lose 1 day of your lifespan. That's not something I need. I don't need that granted to me. And it's just the sadness of knowing every time it's come at a significant cost. Yeah, I won't. Don't need it. You get $5 for every time you consume dairy. Diary. You're lactose intolerant. Well, it's fine because I'm not consuming cheese and milk. I'm consuming my journal, apparently. I am going to be a prick about this. I am going to hold this up. We're consuming diaries. Because if you're not going to proofread your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, your 10-word sentence, then I'm going to take it at face value. Because I'm allergic to dairy in real life. So here's what I do. Okay, fine, it's dairy. It's dairy. Well, I won't be a prick about it. I mean, every time you consume dairy, so what? Let's say I get some dairy milk, and I I get a pipette. What is that called? A pipette dropper? Pipette. Without the fucking AI, please. Swear to God. Designed to prove accurate and precision volume. Yeah, pipette. I got the word right. So I get a little pipette dropper. I drop a single drop of dairy milk onto my tongue and swallow it, and I get $5. I do that like 100 times on a day where, okay, I tell my work, hey, I need to book, I want to book a 4-day holiday off work, going Monday to going Monday to Thursday. I need to take Monday to Thursday off for a holiday. I book it off 2 weeks in advance. I work a casual job. And then on Saturday, because I get weekends off, on Saturday, I consume like, can I break it up into smaller amounts? Like smaller, can I break a drop up somehow? I mean, powder, right? How much? Surely there's dairy in like milk powder. So I get a single speck of condensed dairy milk powder, and I consume 1,000 of them. I mean, it's only $5, so I get $5,000 for doing this every individual time you consume dairy. So, yeah, yeah, I just consume a lot of little grains of dairy on a Saturday, and then I've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to just suffer through the repercussions of consuming lots of dairy. And then I've got, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 grand in the bank, for that, for 5 days of work, 5 days of suffering. So yeah, I would. And this is great for me because I am already lactose intolerant, so I would adapt to this very well. That puts me at advantage on that one. I reckon the people that said no are not lactose intolerant and they're scared of the idea, and they didn't even consider the possibilities of just taking some time off work and doing it. Just making the sacrifice. You get a 50% discount on all restaurants for the rest of your life, and you don't need to tip. 50% discount. I haven't read I haven't read the downside yet. I don't really eat at restaurants. Like I'll sometimes get a small chippies from Hungry Jack's and maybe a small frozen Coke. I used to do it a fair bit, now not so much. But restaurants, I can't remember the last time I had a restaurant. I think I used to work at a restaurant, a tavern. It was kind of when I was moving house, and there were times when I'd work a night shift and then I'd sleep in my car around the corner from work, because otherwise, if I didn't do that, I would have to drive. This was when the fuel crisis was happening. I would have to drive 40 minutes to the ferry marina, park my car, get on the ferry, get to the island that I'm now living on, and then drive back for the morning shift, 40 minutes, guzzling fuel, unleaded fuel, but still fuel. Meanwhile, fuel prices were skyrocketing. So I'm like, no, I need to save the fuel. So I would just sleep in my car around the corner. I had a pillow in the car, blanket, planned for it, had a spare change of uniform, just to save that like 80 minutes of fuel consumption. And when I did that, it meant that, I say it's a morning shift. It'd be like a midday starting shift. It'd be like a lunch shift. It meant that, let's say I'd wake up at 7 a.m. I had 5 hours before my shift started. So I'd go into work just to get like a cup of tea or something, and my boss offered to make me some lunch. And of course I got my allergies, so he'd make me some really nice, really delicious basmati rice and some eggs, like 2 fried eggs on basmati rice. It's one of my favorite meals. It's so good. That's all I wanted. That's all I asked for, and he just he made that for me, and so I get a 50% discount. But that's the last time and only time I can remember in recent history eating at a restaurant. I don't go to restaurants. I don't have a partner at the moment. When I had a girlfriend years ago, and I've gone on a few dates recently, like not recently, really, not recently at all, but over the past few years, when I go on Tinder dates and that, we go to restaurants, but it's just not. It's not a financial burden for me. Restaurants. So let's read the downside. All food you eat will telepathically beg you not to eat it. Yeah, no, thank you. Because restaurant food is not cost prohibitive. Is a term I learned from Atrioc. It's not a big deal. Restaurant costs. It's not a big factor in my life. But I do eat a lot. I love me a rice cakes, two rice cakes. Those flat rice discs with some peanut butter and a little bit of sugar on it. So I won't. You bring a dead loved one back to life the age they died, and it'll be like they were never gone. You must sacrifice another loved one to do so no one will remember them but you. It'll be like they were never gone. I guess it means I would still know they were once gone, and they've been brought back, but no one else would. No one will remember them. That's insane. Erasing their memory from everyone else who ever knew them is so dark. I would say selfish, but you are bringing back the anguish that you would feel towards yourself, the evilness that you would feel that you've done this thing to bring someone back, this awful thing you've done to someone else. I wouldn't do it. Yeah, most people agree. I feel like I'm picking what most people agree with. You no longer fear anything for the rest of your life. You die quickly, I think. Fear is what keeps people and all animals alive. It's a natural instinct. You have to live your worst fear nightmare first. I mean, yeah, my worst fear nightmare. What is that? Hell no. This is awful. This is awful. I can think of so many horrific things. Like I've never had nightmares about it, but I talked about this to my sister on this channel on a Minecraft episode. Like the idea of the jaunt, where your mind experiences an unfathomable long time in just a void, a blank white void. You spend for hundreds or maybe millions of years. You just have to suffer in mental agony. You can't do anything. You can't. All you can do is wait. Just experience time passing. That's a pretty big fear of mine. I know it will never happen, but that's like is that could potentially happen to me. You experience a fate worse than death, and then you fear nothing. I mean, I have fears, but I can live with them. It's fine. Like I'm living with my current fears. One of my fears, hitting someone on the road. If I'm driving, one fear I've got is that I will cause a car accident that will kill someone else, and then that's just it. Like that's your existence for the rest of your life. That's a big fear of mine. So I drive carefully because it's like you're on your phone or something. So that's a pretty big fear of mine, and it's good that I fear that because it stops me from living it out. I take precautions. Like I work around heavy machinery at work at a recycling center. And I fear. I'm aware of the risk of being crushed or having a huge piece of metal hit you. So I stay away from them. To fear nothing, you would die so quickly. I would not. Your worst fear nightmare, because it's like, okay, I don't know. Here's something I fear: getting put in one of those iron bulls, like a metal iron bull, where it gets heated from the bottom and you're in it and it's made of metal and you just get scalded, burned. Like you don't get set on fire, you're just in like a boiling metal cocoon, just being cooked. That's something I fear. So no. I'd like to know what these people's worst fears are. Like, oh, my worst fear is being stuck in a room with a spider. Is that your worst fear? Can you not think of something worse than that? I doubt it. You live your ideal life. Every time you take a step, it feels like you're stubbing your toe. Far out. I mean, what? So your ideal life, with the caveat that it involves this. It's not really ideal, so it's on one condition. I mean, how can I cheat this? Every time you take a step, so you wear Heelys, right? It's your ideal life, and you got these bad boys on 24/7. Stubbing your toe is a pain worse than 1,000 stab wounds. It's that thing where you've got two like pain receptors where the first one hits you right away, but then the second pain receptor takes longer to travel up to your brain, and it's when you stub your toe, You get that initial pain, and you're like, there's like 1 second where you're like, oh shit, this follow-up pain is going to be bad, and then it hits you. Doing that every step, it means there's no stepping. You would simply not be stepping. You would have to be. You couldn't. You'd be limping after 2 steps. You couldn't. And it's the anticipation. The thing about stubbing your toe is there's no anticipation to it happening. It's, and the anticipation makes it worse. Knowing it's going to happen would make it so much more painful because your brain's ready to feel it. Whereas when you stub your toe naturally, it's over before you realise it's happened. So I'd live a life where I don't step. I don't do big steppies. Stubbing your toes, plural. Like every toe. My God. My ideal life. I like walking though. No, I wouldn't, because I like my life. I kind of like it. I don't need to take this. Yeah, most people didn't take most people didn't find a loophole either. I did find a loophole, but I didn't like the loophole enough. You could make everyone laugh, you couldn't laugh at all. Well, the cool thing about making someone laugh is it's just so satisfying, so exciting when you do. When you do make a joke or say something, and it's that moment of putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, trying to be funny, and then just getting that reward of, hell yeah, I nailed it. This person, I just gave this person a very visceral reaction. I made this person's day a little bit better by making them laugh. It's such a rewarding feeling when you try and be funny and it works, and you like lighten up a room. And the fact that it's not guaranteed, you couldn't laugh at all. What can I do then? Can I go like, can I do that? Sort of a fake laugh. Can I fake laugh? Because I do that a fair bit. If I want to. Because I'm not one of these people who will just be stone-faced, stoic, won't react at all if they don't find something funny. If someone's trying to be funny, I want to say this to everyone watching. If you can tell someone's trying to be funny, as long as they're not being obnoxious, if your reaction to not finding something funny is to just be stone-faced, just looking at them with not a single reaction, fuck you. No, I wouldn't. I like the, yeah, most people said no. Because it's another thing, it goes both ways. Like, when someone else is telling a story and they say something funny and it makes you laugh, like properly laugh, it's amazing seeing someone's face light up when they see that they've made you laugh and maybe they weren't even anticipating it. I love that. When I do a big laugh that I wasn't anticipating and they start smiling because they didn't even know they were about to make me laugh, that's a great feeling as well. And I couldn't do that for people if I could never laugh at all. You get the writing skills of William Shakespeare. You cannot use space or punctuations in your writing. So my writing would be unreadable. Like, unless, I guess, I write, because I do like some Shakespeare. I couldn't recite a single bit of Shakespeare for you. But I guess I write these amazing books, these amazing poems, and then I just get someone else to put in the spaces, I guess. Thing is, I don't want to writing like Shakespeare would be pretty cool. Writing some of those epic stories. But I don't know, I write like me. I write like who I am. I've written a film, I've written like a 12-page prototype rulebook to a board game. I like that I write like me. And it's not perfect, far from it, I wrote a film and the film got made and it was a learning process. I've really looked into it and gone, how would I write this differently now? It's certainly not perfect. The main flaw of the film is the writing. And, how would I just make it better if I could redo it? I've thought about that. I wouldn't do it. I'm going on a run of saying no. Yeah, most people say no. I wonder if this ratio would be different. If it was like you can write like George R.R. Martin or something, like Clive Cussler or something. You inherit the Playboy Mansion, So I'm thinking instantly, I've got no use for it. I don't care. I don't live in America. So I inherit it. I sell it. I pay off my house, and that's it. I'm just set. Like, pay off my house. Kick some money to my family. Put the rest in savings. Comfy. I wouldn't keep the mansion. I'd sell it. If you touch any of the Playboy bunnies, yeah, I'd do it. I'm not touching any of the Playboy bunnies. Wow, so most people said no. So most people would inherit the Playboy mansion and they would feel entitled to touching the models. They would inherit the mansion for the purpose of touching the models, and if they can't touch the models, they wouldn't do it. Interesting. That's absolutely not why I'd want the Playboy mansion. Complete control over your sleep and dreams. Lucidity when you fall asleep and wake up. Okay. You must sleep for 18 hours a day. Yeah, not gonna work. I need to work. Like, I need to get up, get out of bed and go to work. Sometimes for 11, 12 hours a day. It would be cool to have a whole separate life. So, control over your sleep, meaning you can give yourself these lucid dreams for all 18 hours of it. So you can spend like 18 hours in this essentially virtual world where you can go anywhere, do anything, control what you do. You're fully conscious inside your dream. For 18 hours you live in this fantastical, nonsensical world where you can do whatever you want. But then in real life, you are again unemployable because I can no longer work the hours that I need to most days of the week. So I wouldn't. 50-50, which one edges out on top? Yes, no edges out. So yeah, most people agree with me. You become extremely good at everything. Someone you dislike is always just a bit better. Yeah, that sucks. What is it? Comparison is the thief of joy. You'd never feel like you earned it. Like your achievements, you get the satisfaction for your achievements in the journey. The fact that you put time into it, you're instantly good at everything, so there's no satisfaction at all. It's like I watch a bit of Carl Jobst and that. It's like cheaters who cheat at games. You can't. How can you possibly feel any kind of good about it? How can you feel any satisfaction? You can't because you didn't earn it. And then there's also just someone's just better, and that will just grind on you. So no, I wouldn't. Most people would become extremely good at everything. Maybe I answered that too quickly. Maybe I wasn't thinking enough into like the implications of this, but whatever. You eradicate cancer forever. That's a big one. You also eradicate the human knowledge of cheese making forever. Yeah, fuck it. I can't eat cheese. Who cares? I don't give a fuck. Cheese eaters can go suck an egg. I don't care. We eradicate cancer forever. That would be beautiful. You can read at the speed of light. That's insane. That's stupid. I mean, what do you mean you can? I mean, that's stupid because it's like that's so quick that it's incomprehensible. Like there is no looking from left to right across a line of text. You're reading so fast, it's just instant. Effectively, it's instant. I know it's not instant, but also, what does that mean? Because the speed of light is, the time it takes for light to travel from point A to point B. What is it? 300,000 kilometers a second? Speed of light. No AI, please. Oh, we just get AI anyway. Are you kidding me? It just ignores it. Oh no. Yeah, it just gives you AI anyway. Are you kidding me? Google ignoring minus AI in search. All you have to do is use the not operator that modifies searches to exclude certain parameters. Yeah, it's not doing it anymore, is it? Speed of light minus. That's awesome, but it's just ignoring it. So you're just forced. The top result is just some AI garbage, regardless. What is the speed? 300,000 kilometers a second, right? Is this AI? What is this? Feedback? Is the speed of light? AI overview? Fuck off. Yeah, 300 million meters per second or 300,000 kilometers per second. Yeah. How does that translate to reading? It basically means it's instant, let's be honest. But you can never finish the book, magazine, etc. you're reading. Okay, so what does that mean? How can we spin this? You just can't read the last full stop. I'll do it. I mean, no, but I mean, that's so cheese, right? You can never. Okay, so you can't read the last page, which would be debilitating. Like, no sarcasm. I read books. Every book I finish, I write it down. Basically, my story is in like December of 2024. I noticed I had a bunch of books that were bought for me as gifts on my bookshelf, and I realized that I had not read a book in 8 years. And I'm like, this is going to be 2025 is going to be the year where I start reading as a pastime. And I started. First book I read was because when I was a kid, when I was 16, I read Eragon. I read the 4 Eragon books. I read this book, Phantoms by Dean Koontz. This one with this cover. That's a cool book. Yeah, I read a few books, and then just stopped. But you know what started it actually is it's like I wanted to read House of Leaves. And those who know House of Leaves, you know what I'm talking about. Look it up. Just look it up. Read the book. Don't spoil it for yourself and just look into it. But I wanted to read it, but I'm like, I haven't read a book in 8 years. The first book I read shouldn't be something like House of Leaves. Not a good idea. I got to put the training wheels back on and get back into just the habit of reading before I read something so unlike anything else that exists. So the first book I read was, I just went through a couple of my books I had on my bookshelf. Cinema Speculation by Quentin Tarantino. This is a non-fiction book that he wrote about cinema in the 70s. Him growing up as like a 10-year-old, experiencing these early movies, and I think the book ends with him speculating what if Brian De Palma directed Taxi Driver. That's the final chapter. It all concludes with that, and it's cool. It's like funny. It's a funny book. It talks about like Steve McQueen and his old movies and that. It's cool. Bullet, like influential old 70s movies. Dirty Harry, cool book. And then I just go to the library, borrow books, read them, and so I read Cinema Speculation. Then I read this pretty bad book by Sidney Sheldon called The Sky is Falling. Just a book where all the characters talk so boring. Every conversation starts with, "Hi, character A, how are you today? Good, thanks, character B, how are you? Yeah, I'm lovely." Like, every fucking conversation starts with just these, just generic greetings and that. Like, just gets the point, So I read that one, and then I read House of Leaves, and House of Leaves took me a long time to read. I was very frustrated by the end of it, because I'm like, you got to jump around, you got to put multiple bookmarks in it, because you're reading one bit, and then you've got to jump back to a different part of the book. So I'd put a bookmark in where I was, jump back, and it feels like you're not making progress. You're reading through it, you're like, cool, I'm getting through pages, and it tells you to jump all the way back, and then that one tells you to jump, and you got to jump again, and then it takes you on this winding labyrinthian pathway where you don't even know, and it feels like you're not making progress through the book. And then there's Johnny Truant, who's got to be one of the most insufferable characters ever in literature. I hate that guy. I hate how he's just the worst kind of guy, Johnny Truant. His whole personality is going to bars and clubs, picking up women, sleeping with them, doing drugs, selling drugs to them and giving them drugs, having commitment issues, and having like a ponytail, and living sort of a bachelor lifestyle and drinking. Like, that's his whole personality. He's just the worst kind of guy, Every Johnny Truant part, I wish I could skip. I didn't know. I got through the whole thing. But all the stuff with the house was so cool, So cool. All the bits with the house and the labyrinth underneath the house, the mystery with it all that was just awesome, You can never finish it. Yeah, I mean, not being able to finish the book. Let's say for the sake of argument, you can't finish the last page. You can't even start the last page. I just couldn't read then. That's just it. Ruins the whole book. You can't. I couldn't. I couldn't read any book without finishing it. That'd be not a nightmare. So no, I wouldn't. You get one item, one ability, and one character from any fiction. They can come from different sources. You have 6 months to conquer or destroy any country on Earth, or you die. There's no way one man, me, with one item, one ability, one character. I get to bring a character. Okay, so item. I mean, I'm playing Halo at the moment, so I'm thinking energy sword, right? I'm thinking energy sword, of course. What item? Fuck it, it's energy sword. One ability. Instantly I'm thinking, how do I conquer a country? Destroy a country. What's the smallest country? Without the goddamn AI, please. Vatican. I need to destroy the Vatican. What's this country? Smallest countries in the world. Monaco in square kilometers. 0.49 square kilometers. One character from any... I don't really want a character from any... No, I wouldn't. It's just the pressure. I couldn't destroy or conquer the Vatican in 6 months. Most people would do it. I'd like to know how they go about doing it. How they've solved that. Oh, there's comments down here. You find the love of your life. Everyone wants her too. It's funny implying this just assumes you are attracted to women. Well, yeah, it doesn't say that you're the love of her life. No, I'll just take my chances with. I'm single at the moment. I don't have any romantic prospects at the moment. But I'm doing alright. So, it's been kind of slow lately on the dating scene. But yeah, I'll just take my chances. Also, I find the love of my life, not that I get with them. You can go back to the 90s and tell your past self to put all your life savings into the Apple stock and you'll return to the future rich. Well, I spent about 11 days in the 90s. I was born December 99. So, I was a 90s kid. I was a 90s fetus. So my 90s self, I can tell 5-day-old Austin. It's funny, I can't do it for myself. All I can do is tell myself to do it. So it would fall on deaf ears, unfortunately. So I wouldn't. Already I'm hitting no. You'd have to tell the love of your life to put all their life savings in a bad stock and you return to the future without ever finding love. No, fuck off. I wouldn't do it. It's a shit deal. You can read minds, you can't speak. See, reading minds... I really feel like reading minds is such an evil... Like, I've seen stuff about people coming up with technology that can decipher people's brain activity when they sleep and actually put images to their dreams. Turn their dreams into images and study their brain waves, brain activity to actually decipher what they are thinking. Maybe that's completely wrong. That might be complete bullshit. But I really do think that your mind and what you think is the one sacred thing that no one can take from you. It's the one thing that makes you human. And it would be the most evil and cruel and dehumanizing thing for someone to take that away from you. The exclusivity of having your own mind to yourself. If someone can violate that, that person is evil. So I would not. And I wouldn't want to know what people think. I wouldn't want to honestly know what people think of me. Because I'm sure people shit talk each other behind their backs all the time. It's like at most workplaces, people are all friendly and chatty to each other, but then behind their backs, the shit talking starts. I wouldn't know what people think of me. You can taste all food in the world, you would be colorblind. What does that mean? You can taste all food in the world? What are you talking about? What does that mean? As in, like, right now, without eating anything, I can just conjure a taste without having to eat it. You can taste all food. What do you mean? Like, I can do a taste test. Like, I get a little skewer, a little platter, a little plate. I can just fabricate in front of me and just have a little tasting of any food that exists. Like I'd like some sushi. And I just get like a little bite size. I'd be colorblind. Taste. What does that mean? That's such a shit prompt. I don't. No, I wouldn't. Just because of how shit that is. I don't understand what you mean by that. Next question. You get to be with a hot girl. You don't like her emotionally. No. I've been with hot women and I've liked them emotionally. I'm sure I'll do it again in the future. You can change anything about your body you want whenever you want, gender included. You are in extreme pain for one day every time you do. I used to be really self-conscious about my height, but honestly, you do just kind of accept it. You just kind of you get used to it. And I think I would look and feel weird if I was taller. I don't really. You can change anything about your body. I'm quite skinny as well. I feel like my head is disproportionately large for the rest of my body. It's just because of how skinny I am, like short I am. So I feel like my head is too large. You are in extreme pain for one day. So it'd be the kind of thing where it's the kind of thing where you do it once, you'd suffer once, you would sacrifice a day, and then you'd just be permanently better off. Thing is, it's like you can change. What would the extreme pain be? Would it be like agony? Would it be, nails being driven into you constantly for a day? Or thing is, it's saying you can, not that you have to. You can go your whole life without doing it. So I guess I'd say yes. Yeah, most people agree. I reckon they agree because of that, because it says you can, not that you have to. Go back in time to save Kurt Cobain, you lose the Foo Fighters forever. See, okay, so I go back, I save him, I come back to the future, and I now live in a future where he's alive and Nirvana is still making music. I lose the Foo Fighters. I fucking hate the Foo Fighters. I hate every single song they've ever made. You know what's one good song I do like? Oh, I just quit the tab. Fuck it. All right. Well, that's the last question then. Is it this song? Oh no, it's not called Stream. It's called Shame. Shame. This is a song that I feel like most people don't like. It's got 8.5 million views. It's a very odd song. It's a very weird song. And when I first heard it back in like 2021, I was like, oh, this is a bit bad. But no, it's actually really good. I like this one song. And I think it's because it doesn't sound like anything else Foo Fighters do. And Dave Grohl seems like a cool guy. He seems like a good guy. But goddamn, I wish I could like the Foo Fighters. But that's a win-win. I save a beloved artist who everyone loves, and also I don't have to listen to fucking Foo Fighters.